Alright, man, I'm back at it again with another Saints Row video, bro. And today I'm gonna be talking about in this video, you feel me? Um, Basically, I guess you could say this is a part two to if the the old school fans don't have nothing to lose, and I want to talk about if if they just focus Starbank, okay, if they focused on one and two, they could possibly focus on three and four. They don't gotta focus on one and two. There's like if it got past a company, that's their choice. But mostly, if it did get passed to another company, obviously since the Saints Row fans let the game flop, that shows that a lot of people probably want something out of one and two. So let's say if they did pay attention to one and two, some things that I want to be changed about one and two, right? Uh, I want to talk about Saints Row one first. Saints Row One is really mostly a complete game. It's not really, um, it's like it's not really, what I'm saying, too, incomplete. But it's like two things, bro. What I'm saying, two things that Saints Row One lack, and I'll say is one thing that it lacks. Like the first thing, PC port. It needs a PC port. Saints Row One needs a PC port. Some of y'all haven't even played Saints Row One. So like, if if you somebody and you ain't liking the reboot or something like that, and you probably you wanted a new Saints Row game to play, you probably seen Saints Row One on YouTube a lot, but you never got to play it. So that can be your own old school, new feel Saints Row game. You can feel your own experience from playing Saints Row One. Instead of have to do all these methods to try to play it on PC, they could just make a PC port for it, and everybody can have Saints Row One on PC, and you could just simply buy it. You feel me? Now let's talk about number two when it comes to Saints Row One. Female stuff. Saints Row One lacked it, bro. It lacked it the female. It kind of didn't make sense later on in the games you could be a female, but some females do be playing Saints Row, so maybe they can get more in depth with Saints Row if they was able to play Saints Row One also, and they can choose to be a female, and add some female clothes and stuff up in there. It can add more depth to them playing Saints Row. And some of y'all might, I don't know, people be different. Everybody play different, so somebody probably, y'all probably, some of y'all niggas in here probably want to play as a female. I don't know how y'all niggas get down, you feel me? But But you know what I'm saying? They can add it. That would be them two things right there would complete Saints Row 1. That would complete Saints Row 1 right there. Now let's talk about Saints Row 2. Now Saints Row 2 also complete, but it's a couple things that I want to talk about with Saints Row 2. Like Saints Row 2, it's also complete. It's a complete game, but it's like since this like I'm talking about like if the company just decide to add more stuff to the game, basically, just some stuff that could be useful to just add in the game, for the most part. Now let's talk about the first thing I say is choices. Saints Row 2, think like the only two things I would add choices to that would be very interesting to add choices to is either it's gonna be two things. The Julius, when you about to kill Julius, maybe it could be an option right when he says, "I guess that makes us even." You can shoot him or not. I'm still gonna shoot him because he was wrong. You feel me? But maybe player will stop putting a gun at him and he'll be like, "You're not even worth it," and he'll just still walk away and stuff like that. You know, Another, what I'm saying, would be good for, like options and stuff like is with Mero. Now, depending on what you do in Saints Row is depending on the offer Mero will give you. If you took out two games, Mero might say 50-50 because he look at the Saints with more value. If you took out one gang or no gang, Mero will still look at you like y'all niggas, you know what I'm saying? Maybe one game, but I don't know. One game, I mean, you still took down a game, so maybe Mero would change it up a little bit. Or even if he did change up the option, you could choose if you want to take it or not. If he said 50-50, you could still choose not to take it. Or if he said, even the original, offer 20-80, you can choose not to take it or not. Maybe the partnership with you and Mero can go a little longer. And it can last a little longer. Y'all could be cool for a little longer. Eventually, y'all still gonna fall out because it's probably gonna be a problem between either player in the Brotherhood or Johnny in the Brotherhood. It's going to fall out. The Saints actually do better on their own than with other games. Right? Now another thing I would talk about also is the color layout. Saints Row 2 needs a better color layout. I don't think the graphics for Saints Row 2 was bad. I just think the color layout for Saints Row 2 was bad. It's like everything in Saints Row 2, and I always be saying is like, I mean, I'm not a graphic. I don't care about graphics, but if the games are getting worked back on, why not? So if it came to color plat, I would want Saints Row 1. No, Saints. Yeah, I want Saints Row One's color plate in Saints Row Two. Saints Row Two can keep the same graphics, but like maybe if it had like a more colorful look to it, but done in a professional way. I try to see. I see mods and stuff do it, but the mods it look good on it, but you can still tell it's not made by a professional company. If it was made on a more professional company, they can give Saints Row Two the right color plate. Cause Saints Row 2 was not supposed to look like that. Volition actually came out about it. They said Saints Row 2 they worked on them on some dark monitors and it made Saints Row 2 like look, you know what I'm saying, some type of like it made it look really dark on the monitors. Then when they released the game, they saw how like dried and washed out Saints Row 2 looked. So maybe they can fix that back up. You know, it is a fix up. That's what we basically asking them to do is fix up the games. Or they can do the simple route and remaster Saints Row 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? They can remaster Saints Row 1 and 2 also. But I'm just talking about like some stuff got fixed up on them, right? But yeah, give Saints Row, I basically take Saints Row 1's color plate, because Saints Row 1 color plate was it looked pretty good. I'll take Saints Row 1 color plate and put it in Saints Row 2. And Saints Row 2 can keep the same graphics for the most part. I just put the colorful look that Saints Row 1 had in it, for the most part, right? Now, I'm thinking about something. Speaking on it, what if they decide to put Saints Row 1 and 2 together? I ain't gonna lie, like, what if they decide to put 1 and 2 together? Like, after you get blown up on the boat, it'll probably say 5 years later and it continues. Like, that would be kind of awesome, too. And, like, maybe it can make the games feel like they connect way more since the games would basically have, like, the same graphics, right? Like, and I look at that in more of, like, a remaster. What if 1 and 2 got remastered and put together? That would be awesome. One and two got remastered and like they was a together made game. So after you get blown up on the boat, it say 5 years later. That would be lit. I like that. But y'all, I guess I'm gonna wrap the video up, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. What's some more stuff y'all would add to Saints Row? You feel me? But that's it. I'm out.